Alright tout le monde, je suis Justin. On se retrouve sur la suite de Sherlock Holmes. Donc précédemment, nous avons découvert le corps de Mercurio. Donc cette semaine, je vais le réexaminer encore. Là. Ben, il doit l'avoir décrit dans mes affaires. Parce que je veux quand même... je me souviens plus qu'est-ce que j'avais vérifié la dernière fois. Donc le corps de Mercurio gisait sur le sol, la gorge tranchée. Il y a un couteau de cuisine ainsi que des haillons ensanglantés près du cadavre. Des haillons, c'est ça que j'ai dit ou j'ai dit une autre affaire? Je me souviens plus. Bon. J'ai observé des contusions sur ses phalanges. En danger par le degré, ça fait un ou deux jours qu'il est là.
Soaked in blood.
Ok, c'est ça.
It seems as if the puddle of blood was here before the rags.
Il y a comme un genre de bandage, la gorge tranchée ici. Alright, ok, bon. On va commencer par checker là, ici.
Look at this, John. Isn't it our stolen demon? The photograph was not pulled out in time. Such a waste of material.
Yo man! Il y a sur le plafond aussi.
The blood has dried.
Ok.
I've heard of this style of painting. It is called expressionism.
Ah ouais. Oh, un appareil photo.
I wonder where he got that fancy camera. Despite the overall tendency towards mess, you cannot sit with the drawer pulled out like this. Someone left it after searching.
Pareil, hein? C'est fou. C'est pas fou pareil, esti. Il y a du détail, mon chum là-dedans, il a porté... moi, je trouve ça cool, pareil. Quand il y a de ça, je suis genre... c'est pas fou, calice. Pas tassé, fait que c'est sûr que quelqu'un l'a cherché puis il est parti après. Couteau manquant. Ah, on voit le couteau. Le couteau était ici. Le couteau serait ici. Fibre de tissu bleu. Fibre de tissu bleu.
It appears the wine was truly awful.
Puis le couteau, il est où, là? Le couteau, il est à... Ouais, il est où est-ce que sa main, le couteau? Alright. Fait que le couteau, il est arrêté ici, puis il a fini là. Ok.
Aunt May whiskey, brandy bucks. Quite a collection he had here.
Hey, c'est Aunt May. Spider-Man.
The chest has been searched.
Quelqu'un a fouillé ça ici.
Red
Hey.
skin, tails on the back. Reminds me of Verda's description of the stolen painting.
Ah, ça, c'est le tableau volé. Qu'il a volé tantôt à l'autre au musée, là, ou quoi de même. Oh! Alright. Bon, qu'est-ce qui s'est passé? Ok, bon. Ah, il y a quelqu'un là. Fait que lui, il était ici en train de... Ah, ok, oui! Parce qu'il a pas été retiré à temps sa photo. Fait qu'en gros, lui, il était en train de faire ça ici. Quand il était ici, il a attendu quelqu'un. Bon. Je pense pas qu'il l'a kické, mais attends, on va checker tous les scénarios. Ouais, c'est con un peu là. Il s'aurait pas égorgé tout seul. Là, ici, c'est quoi? Lui, il regarde son tableau. Quelqu'un qui a fouillé. Je pense que je viens de catcher. Ici, c'est quoi? Ok. Fait qu'en gros, lui, il a arrêté ici. Il a attendu quelqu'un. Quand il a attendu quelqu'un, il est parti à la course. Parce que regarde, tu vois dans ses mains, qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Il y a une bouteille. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a ici? Ah, c'est pas une bouteille, c'est une photo. Laisse faire, j'ai rien dit. Ah, la bouteille est là. Regarde, la bouteille est ici. Il a pris cette bouteille-là. Là, il est parti. Puis là, boum, il a pris le voleur la main dans le sac. Fait que là, ils se sont battus. Mais là, lui, il a une bouteille dans les mains. Ici, il y a une bouteille dans les mains. Fait que c'est pas lui, ça serait lui qui l'aurait frappé. Puis en plus, il n'y a même pas de signe que quelqu'un lui a balancé une bouteille d'en face. Tu sais, il n'y a pas de dégâts d'en face, mettons. Ah, puis le gars, il a la main sur le couteau. Fait que ici, ça aurait viré en fight. Puis pourquoi il y a le tableau dans les mains? En tout cas, moi je pense que c'est ça. Puis à la fin, je pense que lui... Il est en train de l'égorger ou... Non, je pense que c'est le bandage qu'il y avait à terre. Je pense qu'il essaie de le sauver. Ou aucune calice d'idée. Peut-être, ça a peut-être juste viré en fight, puis finalement il l'a peut-être tué par accident. Moi je pense que ça serait ça le best. Là. Je penserais pas que le dude il aurait donné des coups de pied. On va l'essayer.
Mercurio was developing
Yes.
photographs when the intruder snuck in.
C'est satisfaisant quand tu fais du premier coup.
Mercurio heard him coming. While the thief was searching the chest, the painter ran towards him with a bottle in his hand. He smashed it across the thief's head. The intruder had no choice but to defend himself, and the weapon of opportunity happened to be a kitchen knife. Mercurio stepped aside to grab the painting, but the wine-blinded thief attacked Mercurio's throat.
Ah, ok, c'est pour ça il est
When
aveugle.
the thief came to his senses, he saw Mercurio bleeding on the floor. He grabbed the rags and tried to bandage him, but it was too late.
Ah.
Why did Mercurio attempt to snatch the painting in the middle of a fight? To strike the intruder? Not with his painting, it was too important to him.
Il est en train de se battre, puis qu'est-ce qu'il a fait, c'est qu'il a essayé de protéger la peinture. Sa peinture.
It's time for some chemical magic, John.
Oh, wow. Est-ce que ça a bien fait, ça, c'est cool. Ça, il y a ça ici. Épingle l'épreuve. Palais mental. Une mort accidentelle. Le meurtre de Mercurio n'était pas le but du voleur. Là, je pense pas qu'il y a rien qui marche dans ceux-là ici. Je peux pas être sûr, là, parce que je n'ai pas beaucoup, là. C'est ce que je pensais. C'est ça qu'on voulait faire, là, une affaire chimique. Alright. J'aime ça, des trucs chimiques, là. Oh, tabarnak! Bon, 4. C'est quoi ça? Je sais pas, ok. Oh fuck. Ça fait ça. Oh, ça la rajoute 1. Cool. Donc 2. Non, enlève-les de là. Initialiser. Accepter. Alright, bon. On va commencer par le 4 qui est ici. Là, ici, j'ai un 3. Ici, j'ai un 2. Ok, ouais, ici. On va prendre lui ici. Puis le 3 qui est ici. Alright. Fait que là, j'ai un 3, mais j'ai mon 4 ici. Là, j'ai 3 là. 3. Ouais, là, c'est ça qui est fourré un peu. Ça fait quoi ça déjà? Ça les met dans le négatif. Ok. Ok, c'est non qu'on supprime. Fait que ça le met dans le négatif. Fait qu'en gros, je peux choisir un négatif. Pour aller me chercher genre 5 là pour faire un -1. Ouais, t'arrêtes là. Mettons, je fais lui ici. Je fais un 5. Là, je vais me chercher un -1. Et mettons lui ici. Mais là, si je fais un -1, j'ai un -3. Ah, attends une minute. -5. Ah, il est hard ça là, man. Attends une minute là, je suis en train de réfléchir là, il y a trop d'affaires ici. Je peux s'en prendre un. C'est l'affaire. J'ai un -2, 7 puis un 3. Pourquoi -2? Ah, je peux juste en avoir 2, c'est pour ça. Faut que j'en remette un là. Ok. Ça fait chier. Attends. Non, je n'aurai pas assez. Oh. Ah fuck, comment j'avais fait ça? Ah c'est ça, de même. Merde, il m'en manque un -1, il me faut un -1 ici. Il a dû aller si je suis là un peu là. Ok, attends, c'est pas vraiment compliqué de bord. 2, mettons je pogne le 3. 3, faut un 2. Ou non, peut-être pas un 2. Ah oui, exact, check. Ah oui, je suis con, man. Oh, il y en a juste un. Pas grave, regarde. Hop, 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 comme ça. crée ça là. Hop. Mettons 4. Hop. Mettons 3. Hop. Et voilà. Aussi simple que ça. Parvenez à effacer les traces de sang sur le tableau à l'aide d'une solution chimique.
That doesn't look like the
Aha.
painting we need, Sherry.
As expected, but that doesn't mean it won't tell us anything. Let's put it on the easel where it belongs.
You.
I guess this is his most ordinary painting. Spot the two differences, John?
Deux différences. Ça ici, c'est pas là.
Nothing behind it. Nothing behind it. If the intruder didn't take it, the skull should be somewhere here.
Ah, c'est ça, deux différences. Il serait où? Tu vis ici, à quelque part, me semble? Ah, il est là.
Monster was actually a man. Poor girl. John, you ought to be thrilled. We are now hunting the devil himself.
What were you saying, Sherry?
Nice.
I was too busy sketching the scene, you know, crimes and such like, daily routine. Did you find something?
A photograph. It depicts a man in a red suit with tails sprouting from his back and multiple people in masks watching the scene. It all adds up. But the act of love, it wasn't given willingly, John. It was a violation. And the girl, she was with child.
Give that to me now. Did you recognize someone?
No. Although the victim is not from Cordona, she is African. Look at the ritual scars on her face.
Get that image out of your brain. You have to continue the investigation.
I must speak to the landlady. Perhaps she saw or heard something.
Sherry, you cannot tell her the truth about Mercurio. It will hurt her.
John, that's illogical. Sooner or later, she will come here and discover a corpse, and I still need to talk to her.
Just avoid mentioning corpse, all right? Stick to the character, tell her to call the police.
I'll take that into account.
And wait here. I've redrawn the people in the photograph. Now you can proceed with your investigation without those horrific details.
Pourquoi il veut pas qu'on aille le dire, fuck off? Aïe, comment je vais faire pour la retrouver, man, si je demande pas l'aide à personne? Ah. Je pensais. Un homme, la photographie, ah, on l'a pas vu. On l'a pas vu, c'est parce qu'il voulait pas qu'on la regarde, c'était peut-être une affaire. C'était une photographie d'un homme déguisé en démon violant une femme d'origine africaine. Si j'ai ça, c'est le croquis du gars. Oups. Oh femme. Mais là, lui, il y avait une photo. Lui, il y a des photos, man. Fait que c'est lui qui aurait pris la photo, peut-être? Je sais pas. Et le portrait volé, c'est fucking un démon qui viole une femme.
Red skin, tails on the back, reminds me of Werder's description of the stolen painting.
You always take me to the best of places, Sherry.
Y a-t-il d'autres choses à vérifier?
I guess this is his most ordinary painting. Spot the two differences, John? Nothing behind it.
Pour être bien sûr, là, j'ai rien manqué. Je sais jamais.
Aunt May whiskey, brandy bucks. Quite a collection he had here.
Oh.
What's wrong, dear? You look like you've seen a ghost.
Can you tell me if anyone else has recently entered the flat?
Oh, you're talking about that limping man. I'm sorry I let him in. I was scared. And I thought maybe he would motivate you to find money so that you would pay your rent. No offense, dear.
Can you describe him?
Oh, so you weren't at home. I was so certain you didn't leave your flat that day. He was of average height, had a limp and a tattoo on his neck, and he was smoking Malpal cigarettes.
Oh!
My husband used to smoke those. They have a horrible smell I can recognize from a mile away.
Can I ask a favor?
Of course, dearie.
Please call the police and ask them to enter the flat, and don't look inside until they come up.
What? What trouble have you stepped in this time?
It really doesn't matter. Thank you, Mum.
Alright, good job. Le meurtrier de Mercuro et le voleur de la galerie ne sont qu'une seule et même personne. Le voleur est rentré chez Mercurio pour y dérober la photographie en vain et a tué le peintre en légitime défense. Ça fait du sens. Alright.
Phew, Sherry, that was close. But you did everything correctly. Now, take off your outfit. I can't let you walk around in a dead man's clothes.
Good job. Ah, il a gardé la barbe. Hein? Comme moi. Parfait, ça. Il y a encore maquillage, là? Non? Parfait, ça. Je sais pas ce que ça fait si je vais reparler à lui ici. Allez voir.
I think I'll leave the exhibition in its current state for a while. I'll call it The Art of Vandalism.
Il y a rien à dire. Euh... Hmm. Faut que je la retrouve. Que je parle à du monde. Je pense pas que je puisse aller voir dans les chroniques ou de quoi de même. Mais ici, il n'y a pas toutes les preuves que j'ai vérifiées, je vais aller voir. Je retourne voir.
A simplistic attempt at provocation.
Ah, c'était juste ça. Ouais.
I think I'll leave the exhibition in its current state for a while. I'll call it the art of vandalism.
Non, faut que je demande à quelqu'un.
Do you know anything about this?
We cry for help, you do nothing. So when you ask for help, why should we speak?
Hein?
Can I ask you a question?
It's funny when someone like you asks someone like me for help.
You obviously haven't thought this all through. Or are you just annoying these people on purpose?
Je vais poser des questions là.
May I ask for your assistance?
I like you, friend, but I can't help you.
Ok.
Don't pass by. Welcome, welcome. Let's pick something.
Tu sais, je me déguise. Non. Pas des fois, ça aurait peut-être pu.
Don't leave. Take one more look.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
I'd help you if I knew.
Ok. Non, y a rien. Hmm. Ah. Une minute. Je vais demander à lui ici.
Excuse me, just one question.
You have a nerve to talk to me. Get back to work.
Do you know anything about this?
I don't know, my friend. Perhaps someone else knows?
Oh, I am bored. Call me when you find the answer.
Peut-être des alentours vont le savoir.
Do you know anything about this?
Sorry, friend, I'm not familiar with that.
Ok. Ça sert à rien. D'accord là, toi?
Poor chap.
Hmm.
You're acting so strange today, dear. I hope someday you'll let me inside that head of yours.
Bon, elle a été violée. Il doit y avoir un crime là-dessus. Je vais aller voir dans les trucs de la police. Je vais essayer de demander à du monde, ça n'a pas marché. Je vais aller voir un truc de police. Bon. Violent? Ou peut-être une plainte. Tim? Non. Non plus. Non. Si je vais voir au policier.
Any progress with the case, Mr. Holmes? Any progress with the case, Mr. Holmes?
Could you help me?
I clearly have nothing to do with what you are asking about.
May I ask for your assistance?
Yes, sir. It'll be an honor to help you.
Ah! Le seul endroit où on est susceptible de trouver des membres de cette tribu en Cordona est le camp des réfugiés qui se situe sous le pont de Victoria. Entre... Okay. Nice, enfin! Le pont Victoria. Yes, si gros, je m'attendais vraiment pas à trouver quelqu'un qui va le savoir ici. J'étais bloqué là, man.
Does it look remotely familiar to you?
Should it?
Concentrate, Sherry.
Alors, une chose à la fois, là, je laisse un gros case.
Beasts!
Murderers!
They're completely livid.
First they come to our land.
Do you know anything about this?
A solid question.
Drop them all into the sea!
Sir, this place is off limits to the public. Please state your business or leave, or I shall request that the police escort you out.
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm a private investigator. I'm looking for a witness for a case.
A private investigator? Really? Even so, you're not authorized. I can't let you in.
And you are?
I'm Ronald Harlow, here to handle the refugee situation on behalf of City Hall. I'm the acting supervisor here, so I have full authority here to ask you to leave.
Merde.
Or I shall order the police to detain you for trying to pass the blockade. Please, step back.
Je dois pas le manquer, lui. Essaie de paraître plus âgé. Ok. Il va avoir l'air autoritaire. Trop bien habillé. Manque d'assurance. Sédentaire. Pas marié. Oh, il transpire. Je l'ai pas vu qu'il était moite. Aïe, il voit qu'il voit ça. Travaille à l'intérieur. Ouais, je pense que c'est ça. Il est pas juste un gratte-papier épuisé. Mal éclairé. Ah, c'est ça.
What about the murder that this crowd keeps shouting about?
It's mere assumption. I assure you that the situation is under the police's control.
I know you want to deal with this in the right way. You are obviously a professional and a responsible person, but you clearly have never handled a situation like this before.
I am handling it, Mr. Holmes. Don't question my capability here.
And tell me how you do it. You can't even calm this gathered crowd, and as for the police, they're not quite managing it either, are they? You consider yourself a problem solver, but until today, you've been solving problems sitting at your desk in a dark corner of a city hall room. Here, you need a more practical approach.
What are you driving at, Mr. Holmes?
I can help you to handle the situation if you're truly interested in solving things quickly and quietly.
And how exactly would you manage that?
Simply tell the police that I'm with City Hall and I'm permitted to investigate the scene. I'll work out the rest, but in return I need your help finding my witness. She's a young refugee. She's with child or was with child recently.
Look, there is indeed a dead body inside the camp. So even if the girl you are looking for is there, all the refugees are now being detained and interrogated by the police. They won't allow you to speak with her, and I can't do anything about that until the situation settles down.
So it's in our mutual interest to settle it.
Oh. I suppose that things are bad enough that I ought not shy away from help. All right, Mr. Holmes. I'll tell the police to allow you to come inside.
Yeah.
Just tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready to take a look at the scene.
All right. Go inside the camp and find Inspector CHOIX. He's the officer investigating the scene. Tell him I sent you. Say you're an independent expert from City Hall. He'll fill in the details for you.
I'll find my way with words. Thank you, Mr. Harlow.
Who isn't allowed to visit the crime scene these days?
So they keep these refugees under a bridge like proverbial trolls. No wonder the people outside are so disturbed.
Who the hell are you? How did you get in here?
Mr. Ronald Harlow let me in, sir. I'm Sherlock Holmes, a surveyor of refugee affairs with City Hall. You're Inspector Tewkesbury, I presume?
A surveyor? What does that even mean?
In short, I've been sent to conduct an extensive report on the incident for the Colonial Office, and to assess all the damage inflicted on state property.
Got it. Another paperworm sent to count money and get food for archive mold. Go on, look around, but don't make yourself too at home. As if I didn't have enough problems before you appeared.
Could you first tell me what happened here?
What happened? People from the bridge above the camp heard a woman screaming and saw a mass of refugees attacking a man. Clearly not a refugee. When the camp guards came by, the man was floating in the sewage canal with a knife in his chest. Bam. A murder. Big news for Cordona.
I'm sure. Thank you, Inspector.
Yeah. Someone is suspect.
Do you have any suspects yet?
You're joking, right? I've got a whole camp full of suspects. And if you ask me, this bloke had it coming. Better bury him and forget about the whole thing. And now there's a crowd gathered at the camp, and my superiors say we must thoroughly interrogate the refugees. At least those who can understand any English.
Do you believe that your superiors wish to get rid of the refugees?
I think that both our superiors would rather keep the story quiet. Since that's an unaffordable luxury now, they're looking how to protect their public image. That's why I have to waste my time waiting for my people to turn every stone and befriend every refugee.
And none of the refugees were harmed?
One fellow was cut. He's lying over there near their kitchen. He's in a bad way.
You mentioned a woman screaming who attracted the bypassers on the bridge. Was she harmed?
No, she's all right, but perhaps the whole debacle started because of her. She started wailing and the refugees stood up for the girl.
And where is this young woman now?
Back there in the shacks, same as the rest of the refugees. She's being questioned by my men, but she's just some refugee girl. Can't understand much English.
Did you learn anything about the dead man?
The fellow looks like a thug. I've had dozens like him fished out of the sea over the past 20 years. Ever since these refugees arrived, there have been people on Cordona with bad blood in them. My best bet is that this thug had something against them too.
And no clue as to his identity?
He had some items on his body, but nothing to indicate who he was or where he was from.
I think I should catalogue his possessions in my records.
Go on. They're on the table near the body.
Ay, désolé, je suis fatigué.
Here we go again. Number of hours on Cordona before stumbling upon another dead body. 0.
Oh, c'est quoi ça?
Malpal, soaked with salt water. £1,000. A fair sum, especially considering British currency isn't very common in Cordona. A simple leather sheath. Perfect for a dirk.
On dirait une dague de rituel.
A steel dirk. Sharp. A common accessory among sailors and soldiers.
Ouais? Même les marins?
I'd say the blade penetrated upward, however the wound is too messy to be certain.
Un tatou?
An interesting tattoo. Does it mean something? Coal dust under the nails. I don't see much coal around here.
Oh. Puis il y a le charbon. Ça ressemble à quoi le croquis de l'autre?
Heavy boots, with one sole far more worn than the other. This man was Limping John. A violent death. This man, limping, coal dust. I think we're onto something here, John.
Il ressemble pas. Ah non, attends, mais lui, c'est lui qui l'a violé. C'est lui qui a violé la fille. Puis lui qui est mort. Je pense que c'est lui qui boitait, qui a essayé de voler l'autre. Je suis pratiquement sûr, même. Regarde. Charbon sur les ongles. Empreinte de charbon. L'homme mort au camp des réfugiés est le même individu qui s'est introduit par infraction sur la galerie Vogel.
Could you help me?
A solid question, sir, but I don't have the answer.
Yeah.
A man's footprint. A heavy boot with a worn-out sole.
Ah, c'est...
Police boots. Always happy to trample evidence.
Ah, ok, ouais. Ils ont marché sur les preuves.
Someone bled profusely here. A fresh crack, as if the crate was hit recently. A furrow in the ground. A blood trail leading to or from the canal. Clearly a left handprint here. Oh, carnelian agate beads, a traditional African adornment. The blood sprayed off the blade after the strike. No hint of blood or impact. It might have been used as an improvised weapon. Someone was dragged against their will.
The refugees have been detained and will not leave until all the circumstances are clarified.
Ah, c'est le gars qui est blessé, ça?
The cut is deep, potentially serious if not treated immediately. He is in shock, feverish and dehydrated.
Sherry, you know first aid. Surely you have a duty to help this man. You can't leave him to certain death.
You know what? I'd like to understand.
What?
How did our dead man end up inside the camp in the first place? That will kill, not save him.
Chris, quand tu le sais, man.
I'll use it to create a solution. I'm afraid these leaves can only be added to tea.
Je pensais que c'était de la LOIN.
I can use this to stop the infection from spreading.
Bandez la blessure.
Just washed. Better than nothing to bandage the wound. I've collated all the ingredients, now to prepare the first aid solution.
Bon. Ah, tabarnak, c'est quoi ça? Moins 3, moins 4, 5. Ah shit. Je viens de me faire fourrer là. Ouais, moins 4, 1. Attends, j'avais vu quelque chose. Un 3 puis un 1. On a besoin de lui. Là, j'ai un moins 3 puis un moins 1. Il me faut un moins 4. C'est ça. Ça descend de 1. Ok, je viens de le voir là. Ah, ça descend de 1. Bon. Bon, moins 2 pareil. Fait que là, ça sera à moins 3. J'aurai un 3. Il me faudrait un moins... Ah, mais calme. Moins 3, moins 2, 4. Ah shit, attends, j'ai oublié de le baisser, lui, je pense. Non, c'était lui, cette. Ah shit. Ah shit. J'ai pas de 1. On va recommencer. Attends, moi je vais le faire. Faut que je le fasse par moi-même. Regarde, m'avoir mon moins 3 tout de suite. J'ai déjà mon moins 3. Ok, hop. Mon moins 3 ici. Alright. Il me faut un moins 4. Ou je peux prendre lui. Ah, c'est compliqué, man. Des bouts. 4 minutes. Ah, ben non, attends, check, regarde. Compliqué, dude. Check, admettons que lui, je le monte d'un, ou je le baisse d'un. Quand on fait le baisser, c'est ici, je pense, hein. Comment ça de moins 2? Ah non, je la baisse d'un, c'est petit con. Faut que je la monte. Épais. Hey man, je t'épais des bouts. Non, c'est pas lui que je veux, Chris, c'est lui. Hey. Oh, moins 4. Ok, là j'ai mon moins 4. J'ai mon moins 3. Il me manque un 5. Une 3. 5. Moins 3, moins 4, 5. Alright. C'est satisfaisant quand tu réussis à le trouver.
Thank you. This should make you feel better, my friend. Now remain lying down and drink as much water as you can.
Well done, Sherry. At least he won't die from the infection.
Qu'est-ce qui est intelligent, Sherry?
If they find out about the passage, everything will go to hell.
Oh! Facilement du camp. Sérieux, man, j'ai ça, moi, ces affaires-là, faut que je me dépêche, esti.
If they find out about the...
Tout va tomber à l'eau. Oups, il était pas. Argent. Ah oui, là, argent. Bureaucrate. Non. Les policiers redoutent la mise en place d'un périmètre de sécurité strict autour du camp après la découverte du mort, qui pourrait avoir un impact sur l'argent qu'ils gagnaient jusqu'alors grâce à leur opération.
Nobody will know anything if you keep your bloody mouth shut.
The coppers smell fishy here, Sherry. Perhaps we should sniff around in the camp a little more thoroughly.
Sealed shut. I doubt our man could get through these grates.
Sherry, just look at this. Living quarters in a sewer. What kind of a genius bureaucrat came up with this idea?
Excuse me, just one question.
A solid question, sir, but I don't have the answer.
Rien ça.
Can I ask you a question?
Nothing I can tell you, sir, but others might know more.
You still here? I've already told you all I've learned.
The guards at the sewers were speaking about taking refugees out of the camp. Do you know anything about this, Inspector?
Less than you do, obviously.
And this doesn't bother you as an officer of the law?
I can neither punish them nor put them on the right track, if that's what you're asking. Maybe your friends at City Hall could do something about it, but I seriously doubt that. To be honest, I'm sick and tired of being frowned on for my uniform. If those fine gentlemen you've eavesdropped on are in some shady business, that's on their heads. I'm busy. Don't you have papers to fill? City Hall lubberheads.
Back off.
Quoi?
We have seen some dark places in Cordona, but this...
May I ask you something?
Nothing I can tell you, sir, but others might know more.
Back off.
Oh.
It's unlikely anyone could get in or out of the camp by water without alerting the police guards. Mr. Harlow, how did the refugees end up here exactly?
Oh, so you're not from around here yourself?
I've been away for some time, but I read the papers.
Yes, this whole story has been in the papers for almost a year now. They were smuggled to Cordona on a ship from Africa.
Smuggled? Then why didn't you deport them?
The smugglers managed to sneak them to shore and hide them inside an abandoned warehouse. When the police raided the warehouse and found the refugees there, the ship was already gone. We aren't even certain as to which ship it was. We have busy shipping routes with other colonies these days, you see.
So you decided to lock them up under a bridge?
There was no other option. We're still trying to work out what to do with them. I only hope we'll find a humane solution and not put them on a raft and float them out to sea.
Mr. Harlow, what exactly do you do here? What are your responsibilities?
What I do and what I am responsible for are two different realities, Mr. Holmes. On paper, I am in charge of the camp territory, security, provision, and the refugees in general. What I actually do most of the time is knock on every city hall door trying to obtain some funding, or at least rations for the camp.
The police here on City Hall's behalf too?
They are, minus those who came here after the body was found. The governor won't let the refugees disperse into the island, so there's a significant police presence guarding the camp. Naturally, they answer directly to the police. I have some influence here, but I'm not their direct authority.
A single Malpal butt. Roadman's cigarettes. A brand highly regarded by law enforcement officers. So there wasn't any sophisticated infiltration plan. The good old police just let the man into the camp. Now we have everything we need to get the full picture of what happened at the camp.
Ah. Wow, il y a du stock à faire, man. Quelque chose là-bas? Neuf. 3. 2. 1. Et sauve. On va commencer par là-bas. De force. Non. Ah oui, il y a eu un coup de couteau. Ça c'est lui ici. Il y a un coup de couteau. C'est quoi qu'il y avait? Ça ici. Lui, il est arrivé, là, lui, lui, s'est sauvé. Il s'est renfargé dedans. Non. Ah, mais il a pas mangé de coup de couteau. Moi, je pense que c'est enfargé parce que... Ah non, peut-être que c'est juste brisé déjà de base. Est-ce qu'il y avait du sang ici? Ouais, il y avait des petites traces de sang un peu partout. Non. Moi, j'hésite entre ces deux-là. Je vais y aller comme ça parce que le gars, il est mort. Il peut pas juste avoir trébuché. Ah, c'est ça, regarde, il a eu son couteau dans... Oh, attends! Tu sais, c'est trébuché. Est-ce qu'il a mangé le couteau dans la poitrine? Ouais, je pense qu'il l'aurait eu dans la poitrine. Seul. Comme un gros calice de con.
So, we have a thug who came to take a refugee woman with him. She resisted, but he dragged her by force. One of the refugees stood in his way, armed with a stick, yet he could do nothing against a cutthroat with a blade. The man didn't anticipate that the other refugees would intervene and stand against him. In the confusion, the woman managed to break free. The thug took fright and fled. He was stopped by the falling crates. He stumbled and fell, piercing his chest with his own blade. However, the wound didn't cause instant death. He managed to stand, but still bleeding, he lost his balance on the bridge and fell. Before all of this, the man had freely entered the camp through the main entrance. The police admitted him after they had a short smoke together.
You live by the sword, you die by the sword. In our man's case, it's the same sword.
Le voyou s'est librement introduit dans le camp par l'entrée principale. Il avait pour objectif d'extraire la réfugiée du camp. Extraire la réfugiée du camp pour sûrement la violer. Parce que l'autre était d'origine africaine, puis c'était une réfugiée, puis elle était enceinte, puis ils l'ont violée. Dans l'intention d'enlever une femme. Plus qu'un vulgaire voleur, c'est aussi un ravisseur. Un homme de main qui s'occupe de diverses basses besognes. Il est tout ça à la galerie. Fait que le gars, il est allé à la galerie voler un tableau, il est rentré ici, parce qu'il fait une coupe d'affaires.
Mr. Harlow, your refugees didn't murder anyone.
What? Pray tell me what you've learned.
All right, listen carefully. This might solve one problem for you, but will create a few more.
Oh, well, that's a great start.
The man came to the camp intending to kidnap one of your refugees, a woman. What he didn't expect was that the refugees would stand up to protect the woman. A brawl had broken out. In the chaos of it, the man stumbled over those crates and fell on his own blade.
How do you know he fell on his own blade?
The wound in his chest was inflicted from an unusual angle. It was not an offensive stab, shall we say. The refugees didn't touch him. And judging by the blood at the scene, the intruder managed to raise himself but was unable to walk very far. He ultimately fell into the canal.
But how did he sneak into the camp? Why didn't the police see him?
And this is where your new problems emerge, Mr. Harlow.
What do you mean?
You're not a dull-witted man. You know what I mean. there is no feasible way to get into the camp without the police guards knowing of it.
The pile of mess I had to sort out has just become bigger, but somehow that doesn't surprise me. Anyway, I thank you for your help, Mr. Holmes. I'll take it from here. Meanwhile, I'll make sure the police aren't detaining the refugees any longer. You can go back in and look for your witness.
You think one small clerk can make any difference in this place?
Who knows,
You're
John?
disturbing a hornet's
Just one
nest
office
here,
in Cog
son.
could make the whole machine crumble.
Qu'est-ce qu'il fait ça?
Is this familiar to you?
They often take us from the camp to work. Most don't mind, though. It's the only way to get a glimpse of freedom.
Ils prennent avec eux plusieurs ses occupants afin de les employer à diverses tâches. C'est au cours d'une de ces missions que le viol de la victime aurait eu lieu. L'incident a depuis incité les réfugiés à refuser l'emploi des femmes pour ces tâches.
So there's a smuggling ring in the camp. This wasn't the first time that someone freely entered the camp to take a refugee out.
At least it was certainly his last time. My gut tells me that we'll learn more about this ring when we find out where the thug came from.
Can I ask you a question?
Sorry, we don't see much here.
Help me, please.
Sorry. We don't see much here.
Time to check your who, what, and what, Sherry. Who are you asking? About what?
Is this familiar to you?
Sorry. We don't see much here.
You're the one who tended to our man's wounds. I thank you greatly. The police didn't allow us to help him.
The police will leave you alone now. I've proven to them that the man who came into the camp died due to his own foolishness.
Thank you for standing up for us. But nobody would help us without a reason. You're here because you want something.
Yes, I do. I need to speak with the girl drawn here.
The dead man came for her too. He wanted to take the girl away, but we won't allow her to be hurt again. What do you want from Nayla?
Nayla. She was hurt some time ago. I'm here to find the people who did this and bring them to justice. And to find them, I need Nayla's help. Will you let me speak to her?
Justice. There's no justice on this land. But you helped us, so maybe your words are not empty. You can speak to Nayla, if she wants it. But I will be watching you.
Hello, Nayla? My name is Sherlock. I know someone hurt you. I am here to help. I'm trying to find the people involved and bring them to justice. Please. There is a photograph, and I'm sorry, it is terrible, but I simply must ask. Where did this happen? What can you tell me about these people? Christ, Sherlock. Nayla, I'm sorry. I'm not very good at this.
You come here for me, but you are rude and cruel and condescending. A cross. The man had this cross. Now go away. Leave us be. I do not need another white man's help.
C'est raciste, ça.
Oh, glad that wasn't me.
Not my best work, John, by a long shot. Nayla doesn't want us meddling. I'm starting to wonder what this all achieves.
But she helped you anyway. Now we know that maniac's face and the cross he wore, we can still catch him.
Porte un tatouage particulier sur son cou. Ouais. Aux fonctionnaires de haut rang. Ah. Je sais pas ça serait où, on va aller voir. Là j'ai pas toutes mes preuves ici. Les pauvres pareil ici, hein, c'est pas drôle.
Are you able to help me?
Sorry, we don't see much here.
C'est pas ça que je voulais.
Is this familiar to you?
A solid question, sir, but I don't have the answer.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Sorry, we don't see much here.
This isn't working. You might need a different tack.
At least some of your kind have a hat. Thank you again.
Ah, il peut me parler. Alright. On va aller voir archives sûrement. Les chroniques ou l'hôtel de ville? Attends, je dois sortir d'ici avant.
You still here? Your problem, not mine.
The intruder has a most peculiar tattoo on his neck, 2 lines and a point. Do you know anything about it?
You really want to know, kid? Why? You want to play a policeman or something?
I'm sure you have it in your records, so it won't hurt if I have it in mine.
In my records, it's just a tattoo, as it should be in yours. Ah, to hell with you. Suit yourself as to what you're going to do with it. Off the record, though, such tattoos are often connected to a man named Mr. Niccolo Bernadotti.
Bernadotti, you say?
A respectable businessman in Scaladio. His company imports goods and wines, and smuggles everything that can be smuggled between the colonies and the mainland. His people can be identified by an obscure tattoo, just like the one over there our friend has. But these are all merely rumors, you see. If Mr. Bernadotti was a criminal, he'd be in prison now. Or hanged, right?
I owe you a lot, Mr. Holmes.
You're disturbing a hornet's nest here, son.
Alright, good. Voyager, là. Ça serait dans les archives, ça me semble. Là. Les affaires d'entreprise, ça serait là, me semble. Peut-être dans les journaux, on va aller voir. Au pire, si c'est pas là, j'irai ailleurs, c'est tout. C'est pas là pendant tout, ici. Non. Non, c'est pas là. Oh, tabarnak, c'est... Ah ouais, Chris, avance. Ah, si. Un homme d'affaires. Entreprise. Occupation. Siège social. Au sud-est de Scaladio sur Bazaar Road. Au sud-est. Près de l'intersection avec Roman Road. Des arts. L'achat de nouveaux matériels pour le poste de police. Peut-être pour ça qu'il y avait un bypass avec. Lead Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin. Oh.
What a lovely man this Bernard... Dotty is, eh, Sherry? Can't wait until we get to meet him.
On va aller voir poste de police. Il n'y aurait pas quelque chose à propos de la photo. Non, je pensais que ça marche. Ah, c'est où? Ici. Pourquoi je vois tout le temps là? Non. Je sais pas, je suis pas capable de le trouver, le calice. Ah, puis ici. Bon, Bazaar Road, sud-est. Hey, d'Israéli! C'est moi qui fouillais, tout fouillé, si je ferai pas de chance. Comment ça s'appelle?
These workers don't look like your average Cordona folk.
They're refugees from the camp. Porcelain friend for every child. Porcelain friend for every child. This earthenware came a long way from the Staffordshire potteries. May I ask you something?
I'm sorry, but I've never heard of that.
Shipped from Cape Town. The wine route from colony to colonies.
Oh, lui, il a des guns. Ah, il travaille. Ça, il travaille.
Help me, please.
Sorry, we don't see much here.
You obviously haven't thought this all through. Or are you just annoying these people on purpose?
Parce qu'en tabarnak, John, par
That's our
exemple.
way in, Sherry.
Hey, yo. This is private property. You lost something.
I'm here to discuss business with Mr. Bernadotte. I tried the front door, but...
Mr. Bernadotte isn't seeing anyone. You have 3 seconds to walk away or you'll never walk again. Capito?
It's in Mr. Bernadotte's best interest to...
1.
Listen, the man Bernadotte sent to...
2.
Well, this has been miserable.
Sherlock, think. We know what the fellows from the gang look like. You can easily blend in.
Ah ouais. On va aller voir un magasin de linge. Ah, c'est pas ça, loin. Ouais, quand il y a du linge là, pas trop loin.
Don't fuck. Let's pick.
Ah, mais je suis habillé africain, hein. Ça marche pas, ça.
Be careful with what you've taken.
Je pense pas qu'il faut que je m'habille africain, hein.
Let's be. Be careful with what you've taken.
Il se met un tatouage. Je sais pas si c'est juste un tatouage. Le gars est habillé pareil, il fait juste aller chercher un tatouage, ça finit là. Oh, Chris, c'est où?
Hey, stop. Who are you? Haven't seen you before.
Didn't see you either, mate. I'm John. Just shipped in from London. Cheap bastards had me sharing a bunk with two others.
Aye, that sounds like Bernadotte. Why are you here?
A problem at the refugee camp. I need to report to Mr. Bernadotte. The sooner the better.
I knew it was only a matter of time until those savages stirred up trouble. Go on, get inside.
Juste un tatou, le gars est habillé pareil.
You did it, Sherry. A full immersion into the criminal underworld.
The silver and treasure, mate. Loads of pirate gold buried somewhere around, just waiting to be found.
It's all right, there's no treasure.
But maybe there is. I just need to crack the bloody riddle.
Can I ask you a question?
Sorry,
We don't see much here. Juste avec Chris à faire.
Are you able to help me?
I'm not in the mood to talk to moneybags.
Everyone's looking at us, Sherry. You sure you know what you're... Sherry, look! This seems familiar.
Oh.
Let's see what's hidden there. Vogel's stolen painting. Isn't it curious how it developed into a much more interesting case? Masks, traditional for the Chokwe people of Central Africa. A Dogon statue from West Africa. A century old at least. VH Grindley Flow Blue tableware. This is what lies behind the facade of Bernadotte Company Limited. An amazing piece of culture. I imagine many collectors and museums would be interested in having it.
Hmm.
Hello, friend. Tough day, eh?
Ah. Marché? La une d'un chronique liée à l'aérostat.
This is it. This is where all the magic happens.
Excuse me, Mr. Bernadotte is busy right now.
I suppose it's Mr. Bernadotte with our fine governor. "1875. It was taken a few years back. John, how many people in Cordona have a photograph with the governor, do you think?
You definitely don't have one.
Documents illégaux. Ah, ok, illégaux. Invitation au bal.
Sir, you're obstructing the light. Could you step back?
I don't know who you are, but someone will be punished for letting you in. But first, let's talk.
Attends, on va pas aller parler, on va aller voir dans les chroniques. On va aller voir dans les chroniques d'avant.
If the damn idiot hadn't stolen the canary, I'd be bathing in silver down in the mines. Instead of this.
On va voir dans les chroniques. Ah, c'est bon, c'est les chroniques. On va y arriver, on va y arriver. La une, c'était quelque chose, je sais pas. Les chroniques, je pensais que il y avait un lien. Désolé. Je voulais aller voir pour être sûr. Ah. Oups. C'est où là? Ah, sacrément, c'était à côté. L'autre sens. Crise de con, c'est juste là. Passer direct. C'est ici? Ouais.
Whenever you're ready. I'd hate to intrude.
Ah, différent des autres. Pas peur des sales boulots. Pas endommagé. Pelagre. Une maladie, ça. Ah, il est marié. Parle de tatouage.
Bad news. The thug you sent to the refugee camp only succeeded in stabbing himself. His next and final journey will be to the morgue.
Hold your horses. Who the hell are you?
Sherlock Holmes. And you are Niccolo Bernadotti, a smuggler, kidnapper, and notorious cutthroat, among other things.
Few men would dare waltz into my office and address me like that. You are either overconfident or unintelligent. This is private property. Give me one reason why I should not shoot you on the spot. I am sure my friends at the station would call it self-defense.
Mr. Bernadotti, do you know the name Boniface Mercurio?
I do not.
Mercurio was a local artist. Recently, a man broke into his apartment, ransacked the place, and killed him. The thief was looking for something.
You are testing my patience, boy.
In a moment, the connection will reveal itself. As I said, your man was found dead in the refugee camp. He was there to kidnap a woman, but the other refugees intervened to try and save her. The ensuing scuffle resulted in the man's accidental suicide. He sported the same tattoo as your men in this building. In fact, it also bears a resemblance to the one on your neck. Care to explain what business your man had with this woman?
You have no idea what you are talking about. I can assure you this was no kidnapping. The refugees in the camp are on edge. What happened there is a tragic accident, one I am not responsible for.
For what reason was your man there if not to abduct her?
Why would I answer? You are yet to justify your presence in the slightest.
I was hired, privately, to investigate the recent theft of a painting from an art gallery. My investigation led me to a man from your organization, and thus, to you, Mr. Bernadotte.
That is quite a stretch. Why would I need to steal a painting when I could buy anyone I wanted?
Interestingly enough, I spotted the stolen painting in your storeroom.
I buy and sell a lot of things, Mr. Holmes. Unfortunately, if this is true, it is not the first time I have been sold stolen merchandise. I presume you were hired by the owner of the gallery. Tell them to contact me, and we'll sort out the situation. So, this painting is why you broke into my office. So many words, so little action. When you barged into my office, Mr. Holmes, I got the impression you wanted to talk business. Now I see you had come just to talk. Tell me exactly what you want, or get out.
It was necessary groundwork for what comes next. I have enough evidence to conclude that the gallery thief, the artist's killer, and the dead man in the camp are all the same person.
Your time is almost up, Mr. Holmes.
Before you draw your gun, there is one final detail I am yet to mention. The young woman your man was tasked to collect from the refugee camp had been defiled at a perverse masquerade party. That violation was captured in a photograph by Boniface Mercurio and used as a reference for his painting. The photo shows the attacker's face.
Finally. That's why you're here, Mr. Holmes. You have the photograph.
It is what your man was after when he broke into Mercurio's apartment, and it is what you're after too, isn't it, Mr. Bernadotte?
You have the photograph with you. How much do you want for it?
I am not naive enough to carry it with me, and I am compelled to ask why you want it. Who is the man visible in the photograph? An associate?
Not yet, Mr. Holmes. Though with this picture, that may change. The man in the photo is a British envoy on Cordona.
What exactly do you want from him?
My business dealings are often arduous in their bureaucracy. A man in his position, willing to look the other way, could ease my work significantly. In return, I will make sure no one looks his way either. A favor for a favor.
Also known as blackmail, the modus operandi of any true professional.
It was not originally my idea. Mercurio set things in motion, extorting the envoy for the most trivial of ends. Money. In response, the envoy hired my man to retrieve the painting and the photograph, eliminating Mercurio's leverage. I only learned the whole story after the artist was killed in his home.
And rather than extricate yourself, instead you took over Mercurio's venture.
It fell into my lap. As a businessman, I simply seized the opportunity. Now, how much do you want for the image?
I could not help but appreciate the collection of smuggled artifacts in your storeroom. You have rather diversified your business.
Oh, high and mighty of you, Mr. Holmes. Not all smuggling is immoral. I pay generous rates to developing cultures and spread their culture to eager buyers. And furthermore, I supply many immigrants with a taste of home.
A very convenient way of thinking.
I have traveled wildly, Mr. Holmes. I've seen people in far-flung lands for whom my services are a lifeline. Without them, they would starve. The tax on cargo is often so absurd that it would be more profitable to simply sink your ship than dock it in the harbor. And trust me, I am speaking from experience.
Why did you send your man to remove the woman from the camp?
Without a photograph, her testimony was the next best thing. Securing her was in everyone's interest. Victims and witnesses all too often disappear. I thought the girl was safer with us. I did not anticipate what would happen at the camp.
I saw refugees from the camp at your warehouse. They work for you.
I have made certain arrangements with City Hall and the police. Thanks to me, refugees can work and be paid. It's a pathway to freedom.
And how much do you save by capitalizing on their cheap labor?
I have heard no complaints. They seem happy just to get out of that slum.
Why should I give you the photograph?
Just name your price.
What if my price were not money? You claim to have connections, Mr. Bernadotte. Perhaps you could improve conditions for the refugees. Give them a chance for a better life.
Ha! I do have connections, Mr. Holmes, but help the whole camp? You are asking too much. I could, however, make arrangements for one person. The woman who was violated will have her own home outside the camp, solely for her and her child. She will no longer be a refugee, but a princess. That I can guarantee.
Is that really possible?
It will be neither fast nor easy, but I can do it. She deserves it, don't you agree? And as for her abuser, he will serve me as much as he deserves.
So in your plan, everybody will be given their due. Especially you, Mr. Bernadotte.
Seems like a fair deal, no? I doubt anyone could offer you better. Simply give me the photograph, and the world becomes a better place. I give you my word.
What makes you think you can decide what's best for these people?
Such is the arrogance of British imperialism. I take your point.
Tabarnak. Ah, hostie, bon. Wow. C'est quoi ça? Oh merde. En gros, ça c'est juste... Il y a d'autres choses à faire. C'est sûr qu'il y a d'autres choses à faire. C'est soit que je vais dire ça à lui, soit que je vais donner la photographe à lui. Qu'est-ce qu'on fait, même? Lui, j'ai jamais trouvé. Il faut que j'aille le trouver, mais je sais pas où. J'ai pas tout trouvé mes preuves ici non plus.
I opened the front door for you. Please, sir, do not linger.
This is it. This is where all the magic happens. This marble fella, it's like he was made after my image. You see it?
May I ask you something?
Hey, Toff. You have exactly 1 minute to get lost.
Do you know anything about this?
Sorry, we don't see much here.
This isn't working. You might need a different tack.
Je vais trouver toutes les preuves ici, c'est pour ça que ça me gosse.
Excuse me, just one question.
Hey, Toff. You have exactly 1 minute to get lost.
An essential remedy against sea scourge on any ship. Bernadotte doesn't miss an opportunity to occupy every niche in the market. Help me, please.
Oh, I'm sorry, but that's beyond my knowledge.
Help me, please.
Are you looking for trouble? Because I can find you some.
You obviously haven't thought this all through. Or are you just annoying these people on purpose?
Can I ask you a question?
Sorry, we don't see much here.
Ils servent à rien.
Is this familiar to you?
Oh, I'm sorry, but that's beyond my knowledge.
Time to check your who, what and what, Sherry. Who are you asking, about what and dressed as what?
Aha.
The Bernadotte Company Limited trade network reaches the most distant colonies of the Great Empire.
It must be very convenient for a man like Bernadotte.
Yes. Alright, ça je voulais. Maintenant c'est de savoir quoi faire, man. Mais je pense que je sais quoi faire. Et je dois retrouver c'est qui lui. Ah, c'est quand même l'homme à lui qui a fait ça, tu sais. Je sais pas c'est quoi que ce serait le best. Ah, je savais qu'on lisse. Son propre cabinet à l'hôtel de ville, le 1er mars. Oh.
I'm curious, how did Mycroft recruit you? I doubt you're a field agent. I imagine you work with intelligence.
That's correct. Your brother noticed me when I tracked down a spy at the archives. That's how our cooperation began. And you? Did Mycroft force you into this?
Not at all. We simply have a mutual interest in someone. Or something.
Of course. A fruitful and willing collaboration, I'm sure.
Well, I'm his younger brother. I have to accept the consequences of being a close relative of an official figure.
I suppose in a way we are colleagues, Mr. Holmes.
In the remotest way possible, Miss Oni.
Ouais, mais Chris, je veux savoir le cabinet.
Are you able to help me?
I'm sorry, but I've never heard of that.
If you're here on matters of signing up for military service, come back tomorrow. Our department needs to straighten out some business.
On vient de le pogner. On vient de le trouver. On vient de le trouver.
Why are you staring at me like I'm a Madame Tussauds figure? Didn't you hear what I just said?
You blame yourself for what you did. It won't be any good unless you confess to me, so I'll try to be polite.
What sort of did are we talking about? Are you from the press?
I'm here because of Naylor.
Who?
You don't remember her name.
Lad, if you won't tell me where you came, I'll call for someone here to sort you out, if you get my meaning.
Do you recognize this man?
We definitely look alike. But you have the wrong person.
Really? Then you won't mind if I pass this along to the newspaper?
All right. All right. Is this about money, as you said in the letter? What kind of sum are we talking about?
I've never written a single word to you. Bribery, not my style.
So, that letter, it wasn't from you?
Well, it appears that more and more people in the city are finding out about your despicable hobby, doesn't it? You're in the clutches of justice, and very soon they will squeeze you. It's in your best interest to cooperate.
Fine. I suppose now we have a nice long talk. Do you drink, Mr.
Sherlock Holmes. And I do not.
Shame. All the best discussions are accompanied by a glass of whiskey. But out of respect for you, I won't drink either.
Respect? That's an unusual word in your mouth, Mr.
Where are my manners? My name is Thomas Norton, a British envoy in Cordona on a military mission. So, where do we start?
You mentioned blackmail. Tell me about it.
All right. A couple of days ago, I received an anonymous letter. It said that in the art gallery at Caravansary there exists a painting that incriminates me. The blackmailer made it clear that if there is a painting, then a photograph exists too. And I should be wary of what it might do to my reputation.
What does the blackmailer want from you?
Money, of course. What else do such people want? Needless to say, I don't remember anyone taking photographs at the party. Up until the last moment, I hoped he was bluffing. But he wasn't, as you've just proven to me.
Show me the letter.
I burnt it as soon as I read it. I've left enough evidence. There's no need for any more.
So, let's return to the beginning. What happened at the party?
I vaguely remember that night. As usual at such parties, you meet people, you talk with them, they invite you to spend some time alone with them. What can I say? I got myself mixed up with the wrong company, and somebody must have mixed some psychoactive substance in my drink. After that, it's all blurry. I completely lost my sanity. I made a terrible mistake which I regret deeply.
You don't say. Do refugee girls often appear on the menu at those types of parties?
It's rather rare.
So you didn't attend the party to engage in an exotic experience involving a vulnerable woman unable to accuse you of assault?
I would never have planned such a terrible thing. What happened was just bad circumstance.
The painting that depicted you in the image of the devil was stolen by a mercenary. Did you have anything to do with it?
I might be a rotten person, sir, but hiring criminals for illicit purposes is not in my daily schedule.
And buying the painting in an attempt to hide the crime, is that on your daily schedule?
What would you do in my situation?
I would never put myself in such a situation.
You're young. I could never have imagined myself in my current position. Yet, here I am in front of you. We all make mistakes, Mr. Holmes. And I'm no exception.
Ah, mais un viol, c'est quand même assez grave. Un vol, c'est moins pire, là.
Boniface Mercurio, does the name mean anything to you?
He's an artist, right?
The one responsible for the painting that compromises you. I found him dead in his room.
Oh, that is bad. Wait, you don't think that I have anything to do with this?
You had motive to kill him.
Maybe I did, but listen. I know how this looks, but murder? That's on another level. I had thoughts that this Mercutio...
Mercurio?
Well, him, yes. I thought he could have been the blackmailer. But I was too afraid to make any hasty decisions. There were plenty of ways to fail by making a move, so I chose to wait. To see what he would do next. You have to believe me.
I don't believe people, I believe evidence.
Then look at the evidence. Mr. Holmes, I've built my entire career on hard work and uncompromising dedication to the Crown. I made a mistake, but I'm not a villain from some cheap adventure fiction. By putting me behind bars, you will benefit precisely no one.
Rotting in prison is the least you deserve, but I have a better idea. You will make amends and help the ones you hurt.
Wait, what? Moi, je vais aider Naila.
Naila deserves the very utmost of what you can do.
Help the girl? I can't risk the press paying extra attention to her. I will do anything except that.
That's not all.
Ah, phew.
Use your connections to help patriate the refugees, find them decent homes, give them jobs. There must be a meaning to your position and my decision.
Yes, all right, I can do that. So, will you give me the photograph now?
I need to think this all through. Don't do anything foolish in the meantime.
What makes you think you can decide what's best for these people?
Je pense que je sais qu'est-ce qui va en arriver de ça. Tous les réfugiés sont victimes du système. La situation dans laquelle ils se trouvent peut et doit être corrigée. Ça veut dire que mais qu'il mérite d'être jugé, je ne peux le faire au prix de la liberté d'être humain. Donner la photographie à l'envoyé en échange de la régularisation des réfugiés. Hostie que ça, c'est une hostie de décision de merde. Qu'est-ce que c'est m'a faire, même? Si je donne la photographie, il va rendre toute l'affaire publique. Lui, là, sa carrière va être scrap. Puis lui, il cherche à tirer profit d'une horrible situation. Est un homme d'affaires, véreux, mais il semble sincère dans sa promesse. Donner Nayla et son enfant une vie heureuse. C'est tout ce qui compte à présent. Donner les preuves nécessaires pour faire chanter l'envoyé. Faut pas rendre l'affaire publique. Si on rend l'affaire publique, est-ce qu'on scrape tout? Lui, je sais pas faire avec. Ça, ici, là, j'aide des réfugiés. Mais lui, sa réputation est chill. Faut pas que sa réputation soit chill. Je pense qu'il m'a faire affaire avec l'autre. Lui, ici. Impitoyable justice. Un petit mal pour un grand bien. Honnêtement, je pense... Ça, c'est impitoyable. C'est sûr que c'est pas un bon choix. Un petit mal pour un grand bien. Ça l'aiderait les réfugiés au grand complet. Je peux utiliser le crime qu'il a fait pour aider au prochain. Mais c'est juste que lui, sa carrière ne sera pas finie. C'est ça que je trouve... Je pense que le meilleur choix, c'est lui ici, pour aider les réfugiés. Tandis que lui ici, c'est pour aider une personne. Mais il veut faire chanter l'envoyé, c'est bon ça. Et lui, il veut préserver sa réputation. Man. Est-ce que j'aide tout le monde ou je fais juste aider? C'est soit que j'aide tout le monde, ok? Sauf que le style trou de cul qui a violé une femme, lui, sa réputation est pas touchée. Ou je peux aider la femme qui a été violentée avec son enfant. Puis que l'autre, sa réputation, c'est de la merde. Je ne peux le faire au prix de la liberté d'être humain. C'est vrai. Je sais vraiment pas lequel que je vais faire. Si je fais affaire avec l'autre, c'est que lui, il va le faire travailler. Aïe aïe, les deux, c'est de la merde, genre. Peut-être que Nayla veut pas être seule dans la ville. Je pense que je vais aider tout le monde. Je pense que je vais aider tout le monde. Ah, mais lui, ça me fait chier qu'il ait violé une femme puis il va s'en sortir de même. C'est ici. Scandale. Mais la justice reste la justice. Moi, il y a ça. Le gars, il mérite d'être dans la merde. Ah, mais elle va vivre dans l'ombre de l'autre. C'est pas bon, ça. Je viens d'avoir l'image, puis c'est pas beau, ça. Non. En même temps, je trouve que qu'est-ce qu'il a commis, il faut qu'il soit puni pour. Il doit être puni pour, man. Là, je suis en gros moment de réflexion. Moi, je trouve que lui doit être puni pour, mais si je fais ça, tout le monde va savoir que Nayla s'est fait violer par lui. Faut pas que Nayla... Impitoyable justice. Je pense que... Je sais pas, man. Aider aux réfugiés, man. On va aider aux réfugiés. Mais lui, il va bien paraître. C'est ça l'affaire. Est-ce que c'est une bonne liberté, ça? C'est de le faire chanter, man. C'est genre de le faire chanter, c'est comme, ah gros, moi je peux aider aux réfugiés. C'est un peu comme quelqu'un qui paye pour ses crimes, puis moi je trouve pas ça correct. Puis en même temps, les réfugiés, il faudrait qu'ils soient libres. Ou bien justement, peut-être qu'en donnant la photographie à l'autre, ici, puis il y a du feu, lui, ça va faire impitoyable justice. Toute l'affaire publique, je pense que c'est une mauvaise. Je pense que c'est une mauvaise affaire, man. Un petit mal pour un grand bien. Moi, y aller avec celle-là, man. Ça me fait fucking chier de faire ça, man.
Have you thought it all through?
Man, asti que j'ai ça, man. Un viol pour moi, man, c'est grave. J'aimerais juste ça qui décalisse. Moi, juste enlever mon esti de tatouage de marde, là.
Not yet.
Moi, il pensait en même temps que j'allais enlever mon tatouage.
Come on, it's not like we've got anything better to do.
Have you thought it all through?
Almost. The refugees, what will happen to them?
Well, I wouldn't be standing here in this fancy office if I didn't know how to pull the right strings. In fact, it's the only thing I know. The local governor will receive a decree signed by the House of Lords containing a request to patriate the refugees in the name of the Crown.
From where did you gain such influence?
I never asked you how you found the photograph. So don't ask the magician how he performs his tricks.
But how can I believe you?
Ugh, I presume you do believe in my selfishness. The initiator of the refugee salvation will be none other than the British envoy, savior and protector of those in need. It's a win situation for me, too. Now, what about the photograph?
You deserve to be punished, but the greater good is what matters here. I won't bargain it for justice for Naylor.
I'm glad that this situation is over.
It will be over when you settle the matter of the refugees.
You have my word, Mr. Holmes.
Mr. Holmes, you've returned. Have you uncovered anything new about the theft?
I've brought news, but not all of it will please you.
Fill me in, Mr. Holmes. I won't shoot the messenger.
I tracked down Boniface Mercurio.
I presume he wasn't delighted about the situation.
He was not having a good day on account of his murder. Killed in his own flat by the same person that stole his painting.
Oh, sweet Mercurio. Perishing in the pursuit of his art. How apt. I will miss his exceptional sense of humor.
I located the thief, but found him rather cold. He was tight-lipped about the painting, too.
Huh, he's dead. How very droll, Mr. Holmes. One presumes you were not responsible.
It was an accident at the refugee camp. He impaled himself on his own knife.
Life is nothing if not cruel and capricious. What about the stolen painting? Have you located it?
I found the painting, but I could not retrieve it.
Well then, where is it?
In Bernadotti's office.
Bernadotti? That shady businessman? Why would he steal it from me?
I'm afraid you'll have to ask him yourself.
I take it you found something more then. What happened to your crusade of truth? Was it not that important after all?
No truth will satisfy you, Mr. Vogel.
It was not an attack, Mr. Holmes. If you've chosen not to tell me, I respect your intention. But it is just rather boring, isn't it?
It is what it is.
Well, now that we've resolved all of our outstanding matters, I have a gift for you. I took the liberty of having it delivered to Stonewood Manor. I am told it belonged to your mother.
And what exactly have you sent me?
Frankly, I'm not sure how to answer that. I trust you'll know.
Previously, you mentioned there may have been more to my mother's passing than consumption. It appears you were right.
Oh dear. I'd hoped to be wrong.
She was unstable, mentally unwell. She required sustained, specialized treatment, but her madness persisted.
I knew that Violet had disappeared from the public eye, but had no idea of her suffering. I cannot imagine what you're feeling.
I'm fine.
Il avait les yeux rouges, j'ai remarqué, on dirait qu'elle se porte broyer.
Thank you, Mr. Vogel. I am curious to see what you have procured.
On va aller voir, man, les personnes, qu'est-ce qu'ils ont fait comme choix dans cette affaire-là. Mais elle a acheté un journal, un journal, voir si j'ai bien fait la bonne affaire.
A fresh newspaper?
Pour les réfugiés, acheter.
I wish you pleasant reading.
Mais là, c'est quoi? C'est correct? Ça a-tu marché? C'est quoi? C'est une bonne affaire? À date, les réfugiés, ils ont pas l'air à ben s'y faire. Ils ont pas l'air s'y faire ben en ville, ça a l'air, là. J'aurais peut-être dû condamner l'envoyé, man. Honnêtement, je pense que j'aurais dû condamner l'envoyé. Moi, j'ai fait ça pour le bien des réfugiés, man. Parce que, tu sais, ils se faisaient chercher. En se faisant chercher pour aller travailler à un petit budget. Mais là, en faisant ça, je veux dire, en ayant à être reconnu par la couronne puis de vivre une vie normale, il n'y a plus personne qui peut aller les chercher puis les obliger à travailler, tu comprends? Ou bien à violer des femmes puis à les kidnapper. Même si le monde sont en crainte, moi je pense que c'est un bon début justement. Alors, on vit d'une époque où est-ce qu'il y a beaucoup de racisme. Mais je pense que cette décision-là, je pense que c'était la meilleure. Pour moi, je pense que c'était la meilleure. Malgré le style de manger une marde qui a fait chier un peu le monde. Là. Mettons, ouais. On va retourner au manoir. Alright, man. Hey, nous autres, on va cesser là-dessus, man. Moi, je suis curieux de savoir... Ah, il y a quelqu'un. Moi, je suis curieux de savoir, man, si les autres ils ont fait la même choix que moi, ou ben s'ils ont traîné l'autre en justice pour eux. Moi, j'ai fait ça vraiment pour le bien des réfugiés. J'ai sauvé plusieurs personnes. D'un coup, d'un petit crime qui fait chier, par exemple. Ça me fait chier, par exemple. Si je me sens pas bien de faire ça. Gros, c'est un esti de choix de marde. Honnêtement, c'est un esti de choix de marde. Fait que, alright, man. J'espère que vous avez apprécié cet épisode. Donc, on se retrouve pour la suite. Restez à l'écoute. À la prochaine. Ciao.